Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, my name is Wade Daniel Smith, and I am a black belt candidate in Ishinryu Karate. And the only reason I never got my black belt is because I had to quit for personal and family reasons. I was actually able to beat second degree black belts in handicap matches at the time I quit back then. So I know, and I'm talking about full contact, anything goes, grappling, punching, kicking, kneeing, groin strikes, anything goes. And I could beat two second degree black belts in a handicap match at the time I had to quit. Because that's what Sensei was doing to me at the time he started black belt testing me. And unfortunately, I had to quit halfway through the black belt testing for family reasons. But anyway, this video is about Bruce Lee and his cult of followers, including Joe Louis and Bill Wallace and Chuck Norris, and the fact that they are all highly and ridiculously and absurdly overrated. And anybody who watches the old videos that I've finally found some of them online, and I'm shocked at how bad they are at fighting. I'm shocked at how bad they are at fighting because all the hype about them is that they were dang near unbeatable. Well, you don't get crowned world champion in a real combat sport with only 18 wins, much less when you had 3 losses. You fought 18 fights in a 25-year career and you call yourself the world champion? That's bullshit. That is complete bullshit. You were the world champion of Bruce Lee's cult, and that's about it. Bill Wallace and Joe Louis. That is absurd. And I watched their fights, and it's like Joe Louis, especially, he couldn't even throw a punch. I mean, at least Bill Wallace could sidekick, but Joe Louis, he couldn't even throw a straight punch. You think a ridge hand is a good strike? That he knocked somebody out with a ridge hand? A ridge hand is literally the second easiest hand strike on the human body to block because it comes in too wide. No matter how narrow you think you're making it, it comes in too wide, and you can simply outside block the thing piss easily. The only thing easier to block is the unskilled overhand hammer fist. And he knocked somebody out with a ridge hand. Well, all that means is he was fighting somebody that had no clue what the hell they were doing. It's freaking useless. I'm overweight due to type 2 diabetes right now, and I'm 43 years old. But I mean, I'm medically disabled, actually, to be honest with you. And I guarantee you I could beat Joe Louis in his prime in my present medically disabled condition. I would wreck him, is how bad a fighter he is. And you people think that that's somehow a good fighter. If you stuck him in his prime in the ring with a modern mixed martial arts fighter, he would get killed. I'm calling them out. That is a bunch of bullshit. Bruce Lee's entire persona is a bunch of bullshit. He was a choreographer, not a fighter. He once said that he was afraid of somebody to practice one kick 10,000 times. Well, I've practiced the entire Ishinryu combat system 13,200 times. And I'm not even exaggerating. I sat there and did some math, how many times I did basics in front of Sensei over the 6 and some odd years that I was studying under him. I practiced all 15 Ishinryu kicks 13,250 times. And all 15 hand strikes 13,250 times with instruction, not counting my own personal training on the side, and not even counting the cardio kickboxing, and not even counting the sparring class. That was just basics class. So Bruce Lee said he was afraid of somebody that practiced one kick 10,000 times. Well, he would be terrified of me then, wouldn't he? Because I practiced 15 kicks 13,000 times each with instruction. He was a charlatan, and the rest of you are charlatans. You can't even statistically determine who a world champion is without at least 40 some odd fights, because Rocky Marciano didn't even get a title shot in boxing until he had done 142 fights. He was 42-0 before they gave him a title shot. So how did you become the world champion kickboxer with only 18 fights and 3 losses? That's nonsense. You didn't fight anybody. You didn't fight anybody. And you got beat 3 times. That is complete nonsense. I had to fight an ex-Marine and another guy my same age in a handicap match, and they were both second dans as part of my black belt test. And I beat them 1-on-2. I mean, it's ridiculous that you would call somebody the world champion with 18 wins and 3 losses. That is preposterous. It's complete charlatan. Just like Bruce Lee's 1-inch punch knocking somebody into a chair is a charlatan's trick. I can do that easily. A lot easier than he could. You punch somebody in the solar plexus from 1 inch away with a chair stuck behind their knees, and of course they're going to trip over the chair and fall into the chair. That's a charlatan's trick. That doesn't prove a darn thing about his punching power. Anybody with half a brain ought to realize that's a charlatan's trick.